Does that look crazy? Bang, 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 and bop! With the announcement of Armored Core 6, many Fromsoftware fans who have never played an Armored Core game have probably wondered what all the buzz around this franchise is about. Why won't they just make another Souls-like game instead? And most importantly, why are there 6 of them now? Well, the last thing I said isn't really true. It would be weird if this niche franchise already had 5 previous games, even if the Dark Souls games have only had 3, right? Yeah, well, excluding Fires of Rubicon, there are 15 Armored Core games. 15. That's so many I had to spell it out in the script. The first Armored Core game came out back in 1997 for the original PlayStation, and at that point was FromSoft's second ever franchise after King's Field, a name which should be familiar to most hardcore Souls fans. The early Armored Core games managed to find a core audience within Japan and quickly became the series which FromSoftware was known for back in the day. The reach of the series never really managed to extend far into the West, which is why most people would call it obscure, but the success they found within their audience was great enough to warrant the release of various spin-offs, sequels, and even sort of remasters, right up until Armored Core Verdict Day in 2013. Yeah, the last Armored Core game came out a decade ago, 2 years after the release of the first Dark Souls game. After properly learning about this part of my favorite developer's past, and with the new game on the horizon, I just had to find out for myself what this series has to offer and what made it so special for many people. So I booted up my very real PlayStation 1 and bought a very real copy of Armored Core, because the only logical step to tackling this enormous franchise was to start from the very beginning. What? Hey, what's up, homie? Playing this game on stream is really great, because the veterans of this series will come to your aid and answer all of your stupid questions. But on the other hand, it's also embarrassing because they can watch you being absolutely terrible at the game. Armored Core has a pretty steep learning curve, and if you can't adapt fast, you'll see your mechanical guts spread all over the floor in no time. Some of that can be attributed to some pretty brutal game mechanics where you can actually go into depth where you can't properly upgrade your mech until you manage to make the money back. We'll get back to this later. But the true challenge of this game comes from its controls. Dear God, this shit makes my brain and fingers hurt. How would you design a button layout for a 3D third-person action game? Oh, and by the way, the controller that you have does not have thumbsticks. Good luck. To those who don't know, I will give you a quick rundown of how this shit works. The basic movement of your mech is done by using the D-pad. Holding up will make you go forwards, holding down will make you go backwards, left and right will turn you left and right respectively, and now get this, L1 and R1 will make you strafe left and strafe right. Looking up and down is handled by L2 and R2, and your basic attacks, jump, boost, etc. are done with the face buttons of the controller. Trying to get this way of movement into my lizard brain after using thumbsticks for movement for my whole life was borderline impossible. And to this day, after beating the game, I still haven't really developed any good muscle memory for it. Oh man, I look so forward to playing the other games where I can use the goddamn sticks. Technically, I could have used some tools to remap all of these actions onto a modern day controller, but I wanted to get the most authentic experience I could get from this game, so here we are. Now, let's actually get into the game. What's it like? Well, like I've mentioned before, it's got some pretty brutal game mechanics for new players. Mainly the depth system. Basically, most missions you will go on give you a certain monetary reward upon completion. If you fail the mission, however, you get nothing. which in itself makes sense, but what you also have to take into consideration is that your AC, your mech, will most likely need repairs. Taking damage, firing bullets, or maybe even accidentally blowing up something you shouldn't have will result in you having to pay up. Oh, I mean, that's... Okay, now we're doing this. Okay, wait, if they can't fight back, I like fighting people who can't fight back.
Do you read me, Raven? Hitting a generator could cause an explosion, so please be careful.
Yo, this mission is good. Come towards me a bit more. I don't know if that's a generator that I can hit.
AC unit destroyed. Combat halted.
All of that will be deducted from your bank account at the end of a mission, which means you will lose money if you failed the mission. In this game's world, you are a Raven, a mercenary who has to look out for himself while making some money. If you can't do that, this hostile world will swallow you whole. Thankfully, I knew about this beforehand, so I was able to avoid the worst, but being bad at the game didn't really make it a cakewalk either. Alright, so we just lost 21k. But what are you doing all of this for? Do you want to make the world a better place? Do you want to help your friendly neighborhood megacorporations who definitely don't do shady stuff and only want to gain more power? What can you actually spend the little money you will be making on? Well, on your AC. A big part of the Armored Core games has always been the ability to customize your machine of doom the exact way you want it to. Want to have a lightweight AC that can quickly zip around, or maybe an absolute unit that is slow as shit but can take a beating while firing big missiles? Your imagination is the limit. Or rather, the amount of parts the game lets you purchase in the shop, I guess. But my point is, you will be spending a lot of time in between your sorties customizing your mech to ensure you have the highest chance of survival before you head out to the next mission. Even in the first game, the amount of options you have available to you can seem a bit overwhelming at first. But once you get to know the different stats, everything else will sort of fall into place. Or you just have chat help you with building your AC, but anyways... Another really great addition to this whole system is the AC testing facility, which you can use to test out new parts in an environment that doesn't affect your bank balance negatively. No matter how crazy you go in there, you don't have to spend any money on repairs or ammo. And the existence of this testing ground is made even better by the fact that you can buy and sell equipment from the shop without losing any money. So if there's a cool looking pair of legs you would like to try, you can just go for it. If you don't end up liking that part, you can just sell it back for the same amount you bought it for. This design choice really emphasizes the fact that FromSoft wants you to experiment with all their tools they've given you, which is something I personally really appreciate. Alright, now we've went over most of the basic mechanics you'll want to know when getting into this game. So let's actually queue up for some missions. God, I suck at this game. No, really, I wasn't lying when I said that I couldn't wrap my head around the controls. I'm sure that those who were watching me play through this game live had a good laugh or two seeing me struggle with the most basic shit, just trying to keep control of my AC. Very early on, I realized that I should probably stick to the kill or destroy type missions because I sure as hell am not going to be able to protect anything. This is a good time to go over some of the missions you will be given during your time with the game. For the most part, you can break all of the mission types down to kill, destroy, rescue and find, or protect. But you'll be doing a hell lot of killing for any of those either way, so There is a decent amount of variation within those mission types with, for example, different kinds of environmental hazards, limitations like not being able to destroy the surrounding structures, or even unexpected dangers showing up in the form of enemy ACs. Let's take this mission here as an example. Before every sortie, you get a briefing from the mission giver. Background information, location of operation, and possible threats and other information will be given to you at that time. For this mission, I was supposed to destroy a bunch of whatever kinds of tanks these are, which is a simple task, right? Well, let's have a look at how it actually played out. What am I getting shot by? Oh, there's like... Oh, fuck. Can I not shoot? Oh, okay. This is fucked. I'm already fucked. I do not have the mental capabilities to dodge and shoot the shit at the same time. Look up high in that place for something good? Something good, okay. I like the sound of that. I need that.
Enemy approaching. Danger. Danger. Danger.
You fucker. Okay.
Raven, that is enough. Go back now.
Woo!
Target achieved.
Now that went pretty damn well if I do say so myself. At this point, I should probably mention that I had to do this and some of the other missions multiple times. And not because I failed them, but because my emulator decided I just needed a bit more practice, so, you know, it just didn't save my progress. But that actually ended up helping me out big time. Do you remember that little clip I showed earlier? The one about an amazing weapon in that mission? You know, I thought he was doing a little bit of tomfoolery because as soon as I went there, more enemies started to spawn in and rush me down. But when I had to redo that mission, people kept saying the same thing, so I went there again and had a little bit of a closer look this time. Best rifle up there? I mean, I went there and it was just like, I just immediately got like attacked by stuff. The corner, the left corner? Hold up. So like... that left corner? Oh, I see it.
MTs identified
shit.
as guards.
Come on.
AC weapon obtained.
Oh, this weapon is fucking broken. No, seriously, this weapon is actually stupidly strong. In one of my earlier runs, I got ambushed by an enemy AC that almost obliterated me. But I managed to survive with the tiniest sliver of health. Whoa, 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 whoa! But then this time, I had a device that provides a solution for the problem of life. It's just 2 shots, bro.
Identified as a ranking AC.
Okay.
Enemy ranking AC identified as Valkyrie.
Oh no. Okay. Oh! No way. No way. This weapon is absolutely crazy. What? Acquiring this weapon changed the game for me, because you can comfortably use this thing throughout pretty much the whole game. So I didn't really have to focus on getting new weapons, but I could work on my actual AC. Some people might say that this would be cheating, because I didn't actually find the weapon myself, but to those I say, fuck you. I already have to deal with this goddamn controlling scheme, so I will take anything that I can get. Alright, let's go off topic for a bit. I didn't really know where to put this section, so I'll just throw it in here. One time at the start of a stream, while I was getting my camera set up, I was just sitting on the main menu screen, and after a while this little video demo started playing. I had seen the start of it a couple of times already, but I would always end up skipping it not too long after it had started. But this time, I was so busy with my camera that it ran for longer than usual, and I was greeted with arguably the craziest synth lead on a track that I've ever heard. We might... Oh, Jesus. That's some crunchy video. Now that's a jammer if I've ever heard one. Holy... What is this song? What the fuck? You absolute synth god. While we're already on the topic of soundtrack, even if relatively limited in scope, I was always happy to get the music playing in missions during a heated battle. Many tracks from the OST brought back some nice memories of my childhood. I used to listen to a lot of electronic stuff like this, so overall, I was really happy with the whole OST. But let's get back to my actual playthrough. After I had acquired the Kurosawa, the playthrough became a lot more fun because I didn't feel that helpless anymore. My lack of being able to skillfully navigate a mission was offset by the sheer power this weapon brought to the table, and I was loving it. Sometimes when a target was moving really quickly and, was flying through the air, I would still struggle a lot, but slowly becoming better and successfully clearing harder and harder missions was very satisfying. No wonder Fromsoftware was able to create a series of games later on which would become famous for their difficulty and rewarding gameplay. I could really feel that Fromsoftware has always been capable of delivering a challenging but fulfilling gameplay loop in their games. With the Kurosawa being this game's equivalent of the BFG from Doom, at least in terms of damage, I wasn't really bothered to upgrade my weapons for a while, so I was mostly focusing on the core parts of my AC. And like I've mentioned before, chat was there to help me as I didn't really know what I was supposed to be going for. So do you want to make the Annihilator? I've got the parts right here. I mean, yeah, hit me with it. I can at least have a look at it. The Red Eye had the pointy core, AN 25 arms, and LN 1000B legs. Okay, let me just have a look at those. I just want to... Vertical is best for airborne targets. Vertical? Oh, the weapon lock. None. Standard, none. No. I'm so confused. When I get the AN 20 arms now, they're really good. As long as we have enough weight for them, we could do it. They're light? Okay. Necessary parts. What? Oh, wait, I didn't even... God damn. Yeah, we look beefy as hell now. I thought we had a few mishaps along the way. That purple hurts my eyes. Good. But ultimately, it turned out pretty good in my opinion. And now that I know much more about the game's customization options, when playing the next Armored Core game on stream, I want to get really funky with my build. And I just want to try to have as much fun with it as possible. But staying on the topic of AC building for a little longer, there was actually one more component I really wanted to get my hands on. I had a hunch, even before I started the game, that there would be a certain iconic weapon, which has been present in most of Fromsoftware games. You damn well know what I'm talking about. The Moonlight Greatsword, baby. And sure enough, someone in chat confirmed its existence and also gave me a hint on how to obtain it. And Wait, there's the Moonlight Greatsword in the game? I mean, it's FromSoft, right? And it's... in most of the games, at least. Oh, you gotta do a lot of Chrome missions for the Moonlight. So I got to work, clearing mission after mission for them. And finally, after many hard-fought battles, it was finally time to get my hands on the legendary, illustrious, absolutely magnificent Moonlight Greatsword. Yeah, I fucked it up. There were a few missions during my playthrough that I fucked up. Mostly the ones where I had to deal with a lot of flying enemies and stuff and, where I had to protect something. And failing those ultimately led me to failing my quest to acquiring the sword. Well, anyways, I used my overpowered gun to kill everyone who's had the misfortune of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. The first Armored Core game still has a lot more to offer. Aspects which I haven't talked about, like, for example, the story, or rather the lore, which already bears a lot of resemblance to FromSoft's later projects in terms of how they actually present their storytelling. Or this weird mechanic called Human Plus, which has both big story and gameplay implications. But honestly, I don't know enough about either of those to be able to do them justice in this video. There is also the last story mission, which is a lot of fun, so I will just let you discover that for yourself. I won't spoil it, but oh no. No. My main goal was to give newcomers like myself a little introduction into the franchise and maybe motivate them to try it out for themselves. I had a lot of fun streaming this game and documenting my path to becoming a true Raven. If you would like to watch my playthrough, you can do so right here on the channel in the livestream section. I will also be streaming some of the other Armored Core games here, so if you want to join me in this journey, maybe consider subscribing. Or if you maybe would like to see an edited down version of the rest of my playthrough, be sure to let me know in the comments. But until then, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Stay safe, Ravens, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.
That's it.